Craig, how you doing?
Hey, I'm hanging in there. How are you doing?
Great. Alex Cora, you just heard Alex Cora say that there was not much of an expectation outside of the building that the Red Sox would be playing meaningful games this time of year. So I guess I would ask if that's kind of the outlook of the organization, which is that this team did better than expected.
Well, I think ultimately we have to measure the success of our season in wins and losses and whether or not, we met our goal of getting to the postseason, giving ourselves a chance to play for the World Series, and we didn't do that. So, I think while we can look at some individual performances that were really positive and overall, I think the health of the organization's in a really good place, I think we have to all agree that the season was disappointing and that we didn't reach ultimately what we set out to do.
Craig, how difficult is your job right now when you're coming off a season that's ending like this and you've got free agents like Nick Pivetta, Tyler O'Neill, Kenley Jensen, to name a few, that are headed for the open market? How hard is it for you to be able to keep big names like that on your roster when you guys didn't go out and do what you had hoped for?
Yeah, I think all of those guys contributed to some of the success that we did have in spurts. Obviously, like I said, not enough in total. But I think if you were to talk to those guys, every one of them would speak positively about their experience here in Boston. Every one of them contributed, and we'll have conversations with those guys and understand whether or not there's a fit here. They've earned the right to reach free agency if that's the path that they want to go, and we have to look to put together the best team we possibly can heading into 2025.
Craig, you told Greg that the team didn't reach its goal of winning a World Series. Did you think this roster was capable of winning a World Series?
I think there were a number of times during the season where, we were playing really good baseball. We were pitching well. We were scoring a bunch of runs. Sure, the defense at times let us down, but we were playing with teams that I think the baseball world viewed as World Series contenders. So, kind of by measures of being able to, play with the Yankees and play with the Phillies and play with the Guardians, I think we were capable of that. Obviously, you need to get in to be able to do that, and we didn't. And I think over the course of 162 games, we saw, or at this point, 159 or 158, we saw some of our deficiencies. We definitely have some holes that we need to address, but I think we also saw the core of a really exciting team.
Off-season-wise and free agents that require writing a big check to get and looking at priorities, what do you think are, from your perspective right now, the two big priorities for you positionally for this team off-season-wise?
Yeah, I think we need to figure out how to balance out our lineup. Obviously, it's left-handed heavy, and a number of our young players who will be impacting the big league club here shortly are also left-handed. And so, I think we need to figure out how we balance that out and don't leave ourselves so susceptible to left-handed pitching. And then, we can never have enough starting pitching. We can never have enough quality starting pitching. So I think looking at starting pitching is the other area of focus for us.
Craig, when you look at, regardless of what sport it is, the teams that generally are successful is because ownership is willing to spend a lot of money. Is ownership invested in, this is 3 years in a row that the Red Sox are not going to make the postseason. Are they invested financially in this organization when it comes to going out and spending the money that we saw them in years past? Because I think that's a big knock on them now, is that, they're not spending the type of money. Have they told you that they want things to change? They want this team to get back in the hunt, and they are willing to open up the checkbook to bring in elite talent that can help get the Red Sox back to championship contending?
Yeah, the commitment from ownership to get the Red Sox, to get us where we need to go is strong. It's up to me, up to the rest of the front office to figure out what opportunities we need to pursue. But I don't have any questions about ownership's willingness to do what we need to do to put the Red Sox back where we belong.
Craig, what happens in the final 2 months of the season with these Red Sox teams the last 3 years? Have you done any internal work on why every year with Alex Cora of late, it's been 10 to 15 games over 500 at the trade deadline or All-Star break, and then just the completely opposite effect after the All-Star break. Why does this keep happening?
Yeah, we're looking at a bunch of different explanations for that. I think one thing it seems is that it's not luck, right? In that when this has happened time after time, we have to start to think that, there's something that we can do or something that we're not doing. And so, we're looking at, monitoring workload and understanding whether or not we're asking more of guys than, they're equipped to handle. And if that means that we need to change off-season conditioning or in-season workloads. I think one thing that we can point to is just overall organizational depth, in that when some of our key relievers went down, we had a handful of guys who were able to step up. We also, at times had a pretty significant drop-off in talent in terms of who was ready to come up and contribute. And so, I think overall improving the organizational depth, especially on the pitching side, is something that we can point to as, one way that we can overcome some of the struggles that we've had in the second half.
Last one from me. You played the game. You're a student of the game. You work in the game. Is this Shohei Ohtani season the best ever by a Major League Baseball player?
It is really, really impressive. I think the one thing that does stand out is I saw something a couple days ago about how, this season relative to Barry Bonds would have been like the somewhere between, I think, the 12th and 15th best season of Bonds, which maybe adds a little bit of perspective to this, but certainly in today's game, it's as impressive as anything I've seen.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time this season, and we will, I'm sure, get the opportunity to do this with you again next year. So look forward to that, and look forward to you writing some big checks as soon as possible.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Can I just we're at the buzzer here. I just have one quick question,
yes.
Craig. You guys have said that when the team's core is at a certain point and is worthy of an investment, you will invest into the roster. Has the team and the farm system reached a point where this offseason you feel comfortable in saying that this is a team that you will invest in free agency for?
Yeah, I think you can see the cornerstones, have emerged over the course of this season, and the significant steps forward that some of the guys in the upper levels of the minor leagues have made. I think do merit the ability to say, hey, this is a really good team. This is a team that we need to supplement. We need to add to it because we have a chance to do exactly what we're hoping to accomplish, which is compete for World Series championships year after year. And I think there's a lot of excitement around these young guys. There's a lot of excitement around what we think we're capable of doing. And we absolutely need to improve the product we're putting on the field.
All right, Craig Breslow, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Take care.